Take a Rari to the moon. Sound like wrong V12, make it move.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Primary Colors Podcast, where we bring you hot shit and hot takes.
I look good.
For the culture. For the culture. We do this for y'all because we love y'all oh so much. I'm your humble, grateful, and oh so thankful host, Trader Great. And it's a great day to make it a great day, goddamn. In the studio with me, I got Big Shaq. Shaq TV.
Diesel. Shaq 2022.
My
Shaq
guy.
everything.
I appreciate you, man, for coming through. You know what I'm saying? We got Trav in the building too, everybody. You know what I'm saying? From Brooklyn. Where you at, man? Let me know, bro.
Finally back outside. You know what's going on. Hello.
My boy had that thing on him. I ain't gonna say what
that thing, right?
Them COVID like chicken pox, motherfucking stages, ain't it? Goddamn. And we got somebody who I'm really excited to intro to y'all. We actually have the studio manager for WTF Media Studios, where we at, coming from live right now. Y'all, we got T in the building.
Thank you.
So happy to have you here. And y'all actually gonna hear a whole lot more of her. And it's perfect that we got you here right now for this topic right now, because we just gonna dive straight into this shit.
Okay.
They saying black men shouldn't have podcasts right now.
Yeah.
That's the topic right now. And I wanna pop it off at the top right there, because y'all not finna do me how Emma be doing Rocco and shit. Like, it's not happening. I'm not getting canceled. It's not happening. We finna go at it. So like
I'll say this.
Let me set it up. Set it up. So where this whole thing stemmed from, bro, was the fact that Asian Doll was on the Fresh and Fit podcast, right? And then basically there was like a little argument in the beginning, and like the host was on some like real like mansplaining, gaslighting,
disrespectful shit, really.
Yeah.
And speaking
Overall.
down to, like,
right.
They on that podcast, I don't want to say their name, but they speak down to like women on there in like in a dirty and nasty way that I don't like.
Yeah, facts. And that was basically what happened. So Asian Doll, she like gets up and she walks off on the show, bro. Like she just gets up and walks off the show. And
Which I approve of. She should have done that.
yeah.
Which I like too, because like she also was like, y'all not about to control this whole situation and make me feel some type of way.
Yeah.
She took control of the situation, was like, I'm removing myself from this shit totally.
Yeah. I mean, they said she can go. And I think when he said like you can go, that
She's like, okay.
they didn't really think that she was gonna pull the trigger and get up and
right.
go out. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate how she stood in her power and was like, nigga, I will leave right now.
She called their bluff.
Yeah, facts.
I mean,
So I want to know though, because I mean it's kind of like buzzing on Twitter that like black men shouldn't have pods. I can literally go into it like, if somebody want to get their opinion on it first, I can go into some of these tweets that's like out here right now. It's literally like think pieces all over about all of this stuff. Like,
yeah, I think that's a wild thing to say. Is the Band-Aid over this problem is to eliminate or silence black men in the media space. That is so wild.
Yeah.
Versus like, how do we fix the situation? Oh wait, eliminate all black men from the talk space in general. That seems like a very rash, very extreme decision to make.
right.
To me.
Exactly, to me. And I do understand, like, you know, people you really can only like classify like, oh, you see all these black men podcasts popping up. You got the Kevin Samuels of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got
And the thing is, Kevin Samuels, he's getting clicks, he's getting views, and other people try to imitate that and try to go up on their podcast and say things like, women value, they said one video, they was like, women value drop with the more kids they have.
Right,
I'm just thinking to myself, like, this shit is nuts.
Yeah.
Like, you going up there and saying that out your mouth, boy, like, it's nuts to me that men could actually try to like say that or spread that. Like, that's a natural thing that's for our survival as a human being. Like, women give birth. How was their value dropping? Because they giving birth. And men like to be like, oh, I'm a high value man and I need a woman and all this. Shut the fuck up. Like, most of y'all are bums, honestly. Most of y'all are bums.
Not facts.
And they need to get exposed because, like, they not really being numb. And I know that because, like, they trying to play a game and they inviting young women up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you notice, most of those videos that they got 20, 21 years old, 22, TikTokers, Instagram
This is
models.
the Fresh and Fit podcast that you're talking about?
Yeah. I ain't even want to say their name, but like they inviting like
No, facts. I mean, it's already happening. Like people already been talking about it. We not the first ones. We just, you know what I'm saying, addressing it the same way because this is really like sparked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a whole flame, man.
Right.
it's just like ridiculous because now we getting bunched into like I'm gonna relate it to something where women be like, "All men are dogs." Like we as like a black podcast and we are heterosexual men, we're getting bunched into that because it's like, oh, all y'all the same type thing.
Exactly.
And it's not fair.
And in my opinion, it's literally good if you want it. Because I got 2 questions, okay? Because,
Excuse.
I mean, is there a space for us to
You got
challenge
that
each
Rona?
other?
No.
You super
got that-
spreading.
Hey,
I'm like,
man.
sweating.
Hey, move the mic, man. Move the mic. Lights on his mic right now.
Listen. I had my test a couple of days ago. We good over here, all right, man? We good.
If I get tested,
We good, man. I promise y'all,
got
I'm
that
not
thing
bringing it
on.
out here, man. We good,
You got
man.
that
We
thing go to
alive.
steal. Okay, but here's my thing, though.
I better drink this water.
Because there are women out there that be full of shit.
Yeah.
Just like there's men out there that are full of shit.
Right.
Is there a space where we can like voice that?
There should be. There should be a space because how do you reach a solution without having 2 sides of a problem approach something? How do you? So what I have to say is this, because you told me about this a couple of days ago. My phone got stolen since then. So
What?
I don't know if you tried to contact me. Yeah, yesterday. It's trash. And then I looked it up on Find My iPhone, and I'm pretty sure it's in the project. And I'm like, yeah, there's no way. We're not going to come up there and be like, hey, where's my iPhone XR? My iPhone 10.
I've done that before.
Fuck your iPhone. I'm not equipped. So
welcome to New
I got a
York.
story. I got a story about that. Matter of fact, keep going. I want to hear you.
I want to hear your story too.
Yeah.
But realistically, when you told me that, I was like, I'm not sure why this is made to be a media issue when the media is a reflection of the world that we live in. So realistically, I think that you got to dial it back and address the world. Like
Right.
specifically that podcast Fresh and Fit. Like those men already felt that way before they ever approached that microphone.
Right.
So the disrespect was already in place. Like that's part of their values.
Yeah.
So they're a reflection of their world. And so when they speak, they're speaking from their experience and how they think. So that I don't understand how that
already
equates
exists.
to cancel men from the media space.
Yeah.
Not let's address things that are going on in our world that allow people to think like this, that enable people to profit off of this.
No, I sincerely appreciate that. And I think that's the problem is that like I can understand black women being upset that black men literally profit off of spewing bullshit. Cause I know Kevin Samuels got to have a bag by this point because he done did too much stuff. I'm pretty sure if they're able to get Asian Doll on their show, I'm pretty sure they're running some type of bag off of that. You know what I'm saying? And so like the fact that this is a profitable thing, but like I say this, I watch Insecure, right? And what made me so upset with the finale was that like I love it. Black women need to be happy at the end of the day, and I'm glad that was the image that was portrayed at the end, and everybody got what they wanted.
Yeah.
But I don't come to TV for that shit. If I'm being honest, like, I come because I want to see a story, a scandal. I want to see something flip that I
See
didn't
y'all
think.
happy?
Nigga, I want to see some drama. Nigga, I want to see something happen. I ain't think it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And so, at the same time, like, okay, maybe that can be considered like trash TV, trash podcast, whatever the case may be. But there's a space for that as well, because people look at it as actual entertainment and not literally like adopting these like stupid ass things.
Yeah.
But like, Shaq wanted to talk about like the power of podcasting, and that can kind of be where it's an issue, like because there is power in podcasting. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But if we could take a break really quick, I do want to tell a story.
On the phone?
About the phone. Y'all don't mind, bro. Talk about it. Can I get this one off? Talk
about it.
This nigga love to do jokes, bro.
Shaq?
Like, this is the biggest jokester I done ever met. Like, I'm talking about full pranks. Like,
Wait, I took your phone?
go way too far. No, I'm gonna run it back. Don't even worry.
I know
man.
what he took. I know what he going.
So like we had like a friend, you know what I'm saying?
Conrad, shout out to Conrad.
Shout out to my boy
Easy?
Conrad, boy. And we all at the park, and so they go back and forth with pranks all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
More so with him heavy, but you know, they go back and forth.
They're not lying.
Well, I guess like Shaq gets we're at a
Crap, you
barbecue
ain't
over the
shit.
summer. And we're at Marcus Garvey Park or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like we in Harlem and shit. It's a great time. Enjoying that
I know
shit.
this story.
Oh my God.
Enjoying that shit, right?
Crazy.
Somehow Shaq gets a hold of Conrad's phone.
Wait, Conrad?
Yeah,
Conrad is a friend of ours.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm
He
like,
black
you're
too.
not Conrad. Okay.
No.
So like,
I'm looking at him.
so like somehow Shaq gets a hold of Conrad's phone while we're out barbecuing, but we're having such a good time, it doesn't get brought back up that his phone is gone. Like he don't know. Shaq damn near
You
forgot
see how
that he had
guilty
the
Shaq
phone.
look right now?
And like he put the phone on top of the refrigerator or some shit like that because he always making short jokes about Conrad because he wouldn't have noticed that it was on top of the fridge. Basically, he wouldn't have noticed. And so like the phone on top of the fridge, we all out having a good time at the barbecue. It gets to the end and Conrad realized he don't have his phone, right? And so now
I'm talking about it's pitch black out here.
it's pitch black. We're in Marcus Garvey Park.
No lights, can't
Wait.
see nothing.
Where? If you're at the park, how did you get to a refrigerator?
All right, so this
We
is
live
the
close.
thing. We live like across the
Oh.
street from the park.
Oh, you took
So,
it
like,
home.
Right. So I took it home.
Damn.
And they went back outside in the park to look for the phone. But I'm already drunk at this time. So I'm like,
You're not thinking about the phone.
yeah, I'm not thinking about the phone. I'm like, all right, y'all gonna look for the phone. All right, bet, blah, blah, blah. So they come back in like a half hour later, like, yo,
Oh,
we ain't
no.
finding that shit. We stop people. We asking
And we
people
press some. Like you said, like you don't want to go press nobody.
Yeah.
Again, we not in the area where you just walk up on people and be like, "Hey, you got my phone." It's not gonna go well.
Yeah.
But we got to do that at this point because
Oh my
like the
God.
find my iPhone is saying that the phone was right next to this group of men. These group of strong black brothers.
that shit over there.
And like we
it's
trying to
time.
like be diplomatic about it. We like, hey man, they say the phone over here somewhere. We just want to know, do somebody got the phone and
like
shit?
this nigga's
And they like,
valid.
nigga, what? You know what I'm saying? And we just trying like, hey, it's about to get there. It's about to escalate though. It's about to be like, hey, no, we know the fucking phone
This
over
man is,
here,
meanwhile,
bro.
what
Like,
are you doing?
I'm upstairs getting drunk.
Doing what? I'm just
He's already upstairs and on the phone.
getting activated and you in the house.
I'm up there like,
ate
shut up.
he 8 Henny shots in.
I'm dead.
Long story short, we get back to the crib and we like puppy dog face. We ain't got the fucking phone. And he like, oh, you mean this phone?
You mean this-
We jumped off the fridge.
Niggas in shootouts.
I was like, wait a minute.
That
Y'all
was a
mean this phone?
Conrad was so sad.
That was a lot, bro.
That too.
It was a lot.
I was kind of upset.
Why were
Because
you upset? You
I was upset
gaslighting them.
for them. I was upset for them.
I was
because
upset too.
I had them outside
man, for
looking
y'all.
for a minute. When I mean they was outside for a minute, they was outside
2
looking
hours.
for that phone for a minute.
2 hours.
Flashlights, everything. That shit was crazy.
It's bad news.
Did you still want to get it off about?
About the podcast thing?
Yeah.
I would just like to say that I'm a feminist, and if any women
Very
want to come up here, I'm sus. Okay, that's fine.
Any nigga that stay
Right.
up-
That's like a white person that's like, wait, first of all, I have black friends, so let's set the table. Oh my
All right.
Lord.
But I really feel like we invite women up here, and it's not that we inviting you up here to talk down on you and stuff like that. We're inviting up you because, like she said earlier, two different perspective, and then coming to an understanding of.
Yeah, we value you guys'
Right.
opinions.
I have a question for you guys, for you three black men. You guys respect black women? That's the first question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Love them.
And so how far does that respect stretch back? Have you always respected black women? And the most important question is, how did you learn to respect black women? Like, where did you get it from?
That's fire.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I like going first. I'm an Aries. I would say this though. In middle school, this is side story. In middle school, I had one fight with a girl, and I'm sorry. I regretted it ever since. But she put her hands on me. I'm sorry. All right.
You had the bammer?
Oh my God.
And that's the only time like I got.
Was she
in-
bigger than you? Is that why?
She was bigger than
That's
me too.
usually how it
I was
goes.
kind of upset. And you know when a girl rough you up in school, your shirt wrinkled up and stuff. I was like, damn.
Collar drooping down. Like, what?
But yeah. But I learned to respect women because I was raised by my grandmother, and like my father, like he wasn't around. Like he would be in America or he would come back to St. Kitts when he want. But like I was raised by women, and I had two cousins, woman cousin. I was the only boy. That's why like my grandmother loved me so much. I was like her first grandson, and it was literally like 5 women I was raised by, like around, and I was like taught like respect, this is how they like to be treated. Like I would hear them all the time talking, doing these things. And granted, I was spoiled because when I was the only boy, I really didn't have to do much around the house. But my grandmother would tell me like, they're very traditional too. So she's like, when you get a woman, it's how you need to treat her. It's how you need to provide and do these things. And ever since then, like I've never ever felt like I needed to raise my voice at a woman, raise my hand, needed to feel like I need to manipulate women, like, because I always felt like this was
Except
my
for middle
aunt.
school.
This was
Just say.
I went black.
It wasn't me. It wasn't myself.
Yeah, so that's my story. I was raised by a woman, so that's how I developed that woman.
That's fire. Trev, you want to go?
Yeah, it's same as Shaq. I was raised by women. My father was around, but not as much. He didn't live in our household, so I was raised by my grandmother. I was with her every summer, and obviously during the school year, I was with my mom. So I was raised by my aunts, and I also have a baby girl now, 2 months old.
Okay.
So she's you know what I'm saying? She's a queen in my eyes. I don't want nobody else to see her differently.
I saw that way his eyes lit up when he said that.
That fatherhood shit,
Yeah.
beautiful. I can't wait for my turn,
Thank you,
goddamn. You know I put this down.
She just turned 2 months too.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I've always loved black women.
Okay.
But I can be honest and say, like, I haven't always respected black women. Like, I've always loved them. But I've been that nigga that's been like, oh, growing up in middle school, high school, yeah, I only want to date light-skinned girls. I've been that nigga. I can't say that I haven't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say that I... Let it out, black man. I can say that, like, oh, there's been times when I've seen women having a conversation and I automatically, like, walk up and immediately start saying whatever my point was, like, you know what I'm saying? Or, like, get off whatever I need to get off.
Yeah.
And it took black women, like, telling me, like, hey, did you not see who was having a conversation? Did you not see me on the phone? Do you not know that that's disrespect for you to come in, like, and just lay your dick on the table and think that you just finna control this? And, like,
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I didn't realize, like, okay, yes, I got a love for black women, but I haven't always necessarily respected them in a way that I feel like now that I'm mature. Nigga, I'm almost 30. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, like, I done had situations where they done had to come correct me many a times. You know what I'm saying? I can probably say growing up, probably not. I mean, now I like to clean for myself. I like to cook for myself now. I think maybe growing up, I could have maybe fell into that trap of like, oh, this is what a woman's place is. Maybe like this is what they do. Women cook and clean. That's their thing. And that's not respecting black women because there's so much more, you know? And I've had a lot of toxic things that I've grown up in that have literally played out in these ways. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody had taught me you don't necessarily like raise your voice.
Yeah.
It don't matter how you feel about it. Like you raising your voice, it don't matter if you correct or if you incorrect.
Yeah.
That is disrespect and you are in the wrong 1,000% of the time, you know? And so like I can say like,
But heated moments happen. Heated moments happen. It's not, we don't mean to disrespect you. We're having a heated moment. I think it's okay to have a heated moment and come back and apologize, don't you?
I do.
And then, but also, I think it's important to take that and try to mitigate that by understanding yourself a little bit more.
Facts.
Because I think that you come from being an impulsive person that has no impulse control, and then you kind of have to just learn. Like in elementary school, all through elementary school, I used to just slap niggas. Like, I never had no conversations. Like every time I felt disrespected, I'm just going across your face immediately.
Right.
And so then as I got older, I'm like, that's really not going to work. It's not going to really play out well in the real world.
Where you from?
I'm from the Bay. Yeah.
Okay. Over there smacking niggas in Oakland. I need to know. Oh, wow.
That's what women do. No, we don't. We're really emotionally intelligent, but it's a learning process. And I think, like you said, I've definitely had heated moments still as an adult. Of course. Like we're human, and emotions happen, and your emotions are valid. But I'm just saying, it's definitely sorry.
No, I sincerely appreciate that question. That question is amazing.
I got a follow-up question too, because it's like,
Me too.
is this something we need to talk about amongst men? Like, are we being friends with a guy that you know, like, he possibly puts his hands on women and possibly disrespects women? And how do we go about the friendship and saying, like, all right, if you put your hand on this woman again, we're done. We're not being friends. Or do you fight him? What do you do? How you go about it?
But before you
That's
answer
a great
that, I want to ask.
I know it's a good question.
Because I want to go back to your story about you not always respecting black women, but loving black women. I just have one question,
Yeah.
and I want to ask you, where do you think the source of the disrespect came from? Was it your family dynamic? Like, where did that come from? And then
No, because I mean, single parent mother.
Right.
I've only had my sister my entire life too, and so like
so you were raised by a single mother. All of you were raised by single women, basically. And I was looking up a statistic last night, and they say about 70% of black children grow up in one parent house. No. Yeah, something around there. Like about half or over half of black children grow up in single parent households, and a majority of those are single mothers. So it's interesting because it's like all these black men, a majority of black men statistically are raised by single black mothers. And then they're going out into this world and disrespecting some of them, not a majority of them, but some of them are disrespecting black women. And it's interesting because they're raised by single mothers. So I'm wondering, is that an issue?
There's a disconnect there.
There's a disconnect in the community. Is that an issue that the media needs to aid? I'm not sure.
So that was gonna be my response. Is like we were literally talking about the power of media and stuff like that. Like, black men are literally taught that light-skinned women are prettier and better. That's literally what we're taught coming
In the
up
media.
From the media. That's what you see in music videos. It's what you see when you read books. Like why I think black men like date white women. If you read a book from the age 3 to 10, you read about Snow White. You read about fucking. You didn't read about no. You didn't read about no black woman in these books that were just that she's the prize, she's the queen.
Right.
You didn't hear about that shit, and so logically your mind like forms these like
Images
things.
and thoughts.
Literally like that's what it is like to unconsciously think, you know?
Internalized racism is taught
Literally,
to
you-
black children from the gate.
like you.
Yeah.
That's the word perfect for it. You internalize things that you don't even want to do intentionally. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And so like I think it wasn't the fact that like I seen because. Something else that's really common is that when you have something in your life all the time, you learn to take it for granted.
Right.
That's
Of course.
everything. That's what everything. You know what I'm saying? And we all are guilty of that. We can all say that we've done that. You know, so like being around black women my entire life, that's really could have been a part of it too. Like I didn't think like, oh damn, like you necessarily shouldn't interrupt black women when they're speaking or like because that's a disrespect because it just was something that like I'm around all the time. So I didn't know like, okay, you need to take a certain amount of care. I didn't see my mom getting taken care of until she remarried like fucking 5 years ago. And now I'm seeing what it's like for her to be actually cared for by a black man. And it
And
makes
that's important. That was important for you.
warms my heart to see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Love it now. But like I didn't see what that was like growing up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like again, you watch these shows, you watch Martin, again, like Martin took care of his woman, but Martin's woman was a light-skinned woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
And Pam was the butt of the jokes.
all of them.
Right.
They was hilarious, but she was fine.
Yeah.
You know that. Everybody knows that Pam was fine as hell.
Right.
She had the wagon. Like, we all know.
That thing was dragging too. Shanae. Again, that was that old
stereotype,
black
right,
woman. Like,
right.
and here's the-
Even Will Smith when they replaced Aunt Viv.
They placed it with the light skin one.
you see what I'm saying? Like, you internalize a lot of things based off what's shown in the media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, I think that's my answer. That's where I got it
No,
from. Like,
that's a really solid answer. I never even really considered. I was raised by a single mother. Obviously, I'm a black woman, but still.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you say, like, me and my mom have a rocky relationship. I love her to death, but we're still learning how to. I'm still learning. I want to say how to be more like warm to her and loving to her. And I think also part of that is never seeing her be properly loved either my whole life. And honestly, you speaking about this right now is making me realize it right now. So it's crazy that we're all processing, or that I'm processing
Yeah,
this
no
right
facts.
now. But yeah, and that kind of connects to your question about when you see a black woman being disrespected, or you said a woman in general by your homeboy, like, what do you do?
Right. And
So I don't wanna deter.
I want to make one comment on that too with the parents and being raised. I felt like I was a bull in a china shop. Because like when my mom would discipline me or my grandmother, it wouldn't even feel like discipline. I would go back and do the same thing. That's why it's important to have a man in the house. Because sometimes sons, I'm not supporting child abuse, but sometimes people need their ass whooped. And
Nah, facts.
like when
Sometimes.
my mom is like, come home before 11 and I'm coming home at 1 and 2 a.m. and it's just a beating with a belt. Sometimes a man needs to take his son and be like, listen, you do this again, we're gonna square up. And you don't want to square up with your pops, you're gonna get beat up.
You gonna get beat up.
Right. So it's like
Yeah, unpack that too.
I feel like
Back
subconsciously, like not that I was building a tolerance of not listening to women.
Yeah.
But like I was starting to understand like I can do whatever I want. And that builds a bad
going off.
bad toxic environment, because it's like now that I feel like that, I might go out on the street and then like when a woman is talking, like talk over her or not listen to her, do things like that. So that's why I really feel like it needs to be 2 parents in the home, so there's some balance.
Set an
because
example.
you grow up in an environment and you could either like fuck up the whole environment, or like the environment can like suppress you and like do things like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What were you talking about? Or your friend when he's like,
your question.
how he's handling women? Go first, Trey.
Like what do I do?
Oh, go first now.
Now you want me to go first. I can say 100%. I know some people think that they know people, all that stuff like that. I can say 100% that none of my friends are on that. 100% of the people that I identify right now, if I was to say 100%, Zach, Acha, Shaq, Imani, like Billy, like 100%.
I thought those were all your names.
No.
Billy.
You know how Jesus had like 30 names? You know how Jesus had like 30 names like that, boy? Look, the people that I identify as like, these are my guys, I can say 100%. They wouldn't put their hands on a woman.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be out here doing no wild stuff like raping no women. Because again, I could sense that up off you. I really can sense that up off you. I can sniff that out too. So like, again, my guys, I don't know. Because I don't necessarily have that problem. But if there was a case that came up where like, here's the thing, bro. Because like, if you my guy and I'm in your
Say
wedding,
Imani, don't say me. Say Imani.
Bro,
say if Imani put his hands on a woman.
Say his name.
he might say,
Like, I know he wanted to be like, well, if Shaq, hypothetically, Shaq. No, I'm like, hypothetically, say Imani.
literally, bro. Like, if Imani was to do something like that, bro, like, it would be a large issue between me and him, bro. It would be a
What
large.
would you do though? Because it's hard. It's hard because I've seen it where like
That shit, man.
men get
10 plus,
involved.
too.
Men get involved, and like then like they separate for like a week, and then 2 weeks later she's back with him. So
Yeah.
now that like I'm trying to help the situation, I'm trying to help you and put this guy in his place, but like you so deep in it that you still get back with him, and it's like that's
You
tough.
can't save
That's
nobody.
different. Yeah.
You can't save no person, especially someone who's being abused, that like abuse victims can behave like that. I feel like all you can do is speak to other men, because realistically, to me, as a woman, I think it's going to take other men to talk to other men for this issue to really be resolved.
Yeah.
Just like there's a lot of disrespect from women that towards men too, and we can maybe save that for another time, but women need to speak to other women, and like, because I got a lot to say about that, but it's the
Wait to
same.
get that off.
It's the same thing with like white people, their lack of empathy, or racist white people. I think that it's going to take white people to tell other white people like this is
Facts.
not the way for them to really fall in line. It's like black people, they see them as crying wolf, you know?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, in my experience with white people, my best friend is white, and like her whole like mission in life is to become an educator and educate people, and specifically white people, about themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is not
That is
the
a
way.
good
y'all-
job. They should make that should be a degree.
I'm gonna introduce everyone
That should
to
be
her.
a
She's
degree.
amazing.
Yeah.
It should be a degree.
Like black people, your main goal should be to educate other white people in like
Right.
black history and black.
Yes,
Facts.
I agree.
I agree with that, bro.
But I'm just saying, like, it's really gonna take men to educate other men and just have those conversations. Like, that's not the way.
Yeah.
Put their foot down. You don't gotta fight them. I know what you said. It's like you go head up. I'm like, damn.
I don't know though.
It's intense.
Like,
It
I
might
hear
get there because
beat
you
on
like,
your wife,
yo,
bro.
you
It's
put
gonna
your
be
hands on her.
It's gonna be
like,
an issue, bro. Like,
right? And then
That's
he
my
like,
place
oh, he
in my
gonna be like,
mind.
oh, stay on my business. Like, why you in my business?
They're
And
gonna
then
get
it's
their
like,
chest up on you. 'Cause
Right.
You came to them as a man, like, yo, come on, bro, you wildin'.
Yeah.
They're gonna poke their chest out and try to act like, you know, they could beat you up, and then you're gonna have to show a lesson.
So y'all ready to fight? Y'all ready to fight for black women? And I like that. I like that. Okay.
let's go.
trip, bro.
Okay.
See a trip, man. Oh man. We got more on this topic. We want to move because we got.
Now let's transition to AB because he had a couple of allegations of hitting women.
Right. Okay. That's a
Fact.
perfect transition.
Speaking of hitting women.
Perfect transition. So everybody, we want to tap in on the Antonio Brown topic just for a little bit. And we have a 70% woman fan base that's our listeners, and so I want y'all to know it's not gonna be super sportsy, but there's some topics in here that we definitely got to dive into. So
Yeah.
let me give you the rundown, and Trav, I really need help. Make sure I don't mess it up, okay?
Talk to me.
Antonio Brown, he once played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, right?
That's where he was drafted, I believe. Yes.
Gets cut out of there, right? He's at this point probably the number one receiver in the league between him and Julio Jones type thing. Like he's probably
He's number one. At that time he was number one.
He's the best he's the best in the game, right? He leaves there pretty sour terms, right? And goes to the Raiders, right?
Right.
He's at the Raiders for maybe
He just left 2 teams within like a year of people saying like he's a bad teammate, he's bad attitude, and kind of things like that.
right. So I can basically cut it there. So exactly what you said. He leaves 2 teams in the past 2 years. Well, now it's 3 because remember he was on the Patriots as well.
Yeah.
So now it's 3 teams, and he plays for the Buccaneers. When he was at the Raiders, he was making $30 million a year, and so he was basically like everybody's looking at him like
he was
you
making
got it all.
90 mil, but 30 mil was guaranteed. And all he had to do is shut his mouth
For one day. It was like a Sunday.
You're right. I believe it was Monday.
He would have got the money.
And Tuesday, 9 a.m., he would have had his 30 mil.
Yeah,
He opened his mouth 8 a.m. I believe it was Monday night.
yeah.
All he had to do was wait till Tuesday. He opened his mouth Monday night. and
Wait. I just want to point out
What?
this nigga said 8 a.m. Monday
Monday
night.
night?
That's that Brooklyn education for you right
I'ma
there.
let you rock.
He said 8 a.m. Monday night. That's
Yeah,
that
y'all gotta
Brooklyn
call me out. Don't do that. Y'all gotta call me out on the podcast.
What's
Call me
that?
out.
PS 123. Where you go? Tell me right now.
17, but take it easy. Y'all gotta call me out, man. Don't let me look crazy out here. What's up with y'all?
I appreciate you, family. Keep
I
going.
thought it was black love out here. What's up?
We're getting there.
But yeah. So he didn't close his mouth. He ended up losing 30 mil, and I believe that's when he tried to transition with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick to the Patriots.
Right.
And then he ended up saying something crazy to the owner,
Yeah, the owner of the Patriots.
and that's what got him kicked off there. And Tom Brady ended up helping him out the following season to go to Tampa Bay.
Right. And at this point, he's living with Tom Brady in Tom Brady's house.
Oh wow.
Right,
yeah.
Tom Brady charity.
Yeah, so he got Tom. So that's one of his things.
That's
So
one of his
He
things.
carried him too because he lived with him in New England.
Oh wow.
And then when he left to Florida, he carried them over there too. So
exactly. So now AB's with Tom Brady in Florida. And essentially,
Wins a Super Bowl, plays a season.
he wins the Super Bowl.
Wins a Super Bowl.
first Super Bowl ever.
Antonio Brown is the number one receiver on a Super Bowl championship team at this point. Like, say what you want, everything that happened before, he did it.
Right.
He's done it at
And
this
he's
point.
still living with Tom Brady when he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he was living
I was
with
like,
him.
he came back to his house on the couch,
Nah,
like-
I don't think he was living with him
Okay.
at that time. I think he
Right.
had his own crib. Because he is from Florida, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I say, like, after all that, they win the Super Bowl and everything. Now we come into this season. And, you know, some commentators are still out there like, AB is still a headache. Yeah, they say he's still giving problems, even though he
Right.
just proved, like, I can be a team player.
Yeah.
Then the whole COVID thing come up, and now NFL players got to be vaccinated, and AB submitted a fake vaccination card. And I will say
the first thing.
the
That's the
chef
first
the chef is a hoe for
Real
that.
nigga
The chef
shit.
snitched on him.
You got
I'ma
there's
say
a
that.
song by
Facts.
I'm sorry, but there's a song by HBK Gang and it goes real nigga shit. And so like we gotta sound bite in there, but
Submitting the fake vax is like
Niggas don't nig.
listen, that's all I'm gonna say about it. I ain't gonna
I
say
got a
much.
question though. Do you see a chef after that? I know you was smacking people, so I know you.
That chef got to come see
I
me,
know
bro.
you see
Right.
You my chef. Where's your allegiance?
You gotta
bro?
see him, right?
Right.
You gotta
You
see
my
him.
chef.
Oh my god.
And so basically what happens most recently is they are literally in the middle of a football game and some things transpire, 2 sides of the story or what have been put out, but AB essentially like strips down on the field, takes his jersey off, takes his pads off, and he like runs off the field with the deuces up, and you see like everybody making the memes about how AB's crazy and things like that.
Real nigga shit.
but he's going out with a bang.
I'm out, right, right, right.
Because you guys
That's
were telling
exactly
me
what he said,
before he
too.
had
Right.
the coach was like, "You're done, right?"
Right.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go out with a bang.
Like,
then.
right.
Fuck it."
So
Up
there's
there.
a few things we can investigate in here, okay? Because there's two sides of the story. AB, he goes on his podcast literally like last week, and he tells his side of the story, basically saying he was injured.
Yeah.
The coaches knew he was injured.
Yep.
And the reason he didn't get on the field when they told him to get on the field was because he was injured, and they knew this. And so basically he was like, I'm not going to put myself in jeopardy to play this game right now. That's one side of the story. The coaching staff is just saying, they paint him as like he's not a team player, whoop, whoop, all these things like that, right? So we need to get into a few things. I think we can all say that we've wanted to do what AB did.
Yes.
How he walked
Oh,
out
yeah.
the job.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Facts.
that's one thing.
Absolutely.
But now that we know AB's side of the story, how do y'all feel about the way he handled it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do y'all feel about him just basically quitting on us? Well, he didn't quit if he was cut because they said he was cut. How do you feel about how he behaved?
The man is really talented, and people are gonna offer him jobs because he's really talented. And when you're talented, sometimes you get away with stuff that people normally wouldn't get away with.
That's true.
That's facts.
So I feel like he may possibly get another job again, but the way he did it, he really showed up the league and really disrespected. The league might feel like that's disrespect, and he might get blackballed because, them white old men, they don't like that. A black man running on the field, doing his thing.
Right.
Oh,
No
yeah.
lie, man. I thought it was over when she disrespected the owner for the Patriots. I
right.
thought it was over.
Me too.
He couldn't
He
do that to Jerry
apologized,
Jones.
though. He apologized.
He knew better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that to Jerry Jones.
To Jerry? Oh, hell no,
Jerry,
boy.
bro.
Nah. But here's my thing, though, bro.
Yeah.
If AB got cut on the sideline because he didn't want to get on the field because he was hurt, 100% AB was done wrongly.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Should he be looked at as... Because people looking at AB like he's crazy. They saying like, he obviously got CTE.
Right.
Woo, woo, whoop, all these things like that. And then he came out on that podcast. He was like, y'all say Tom Brady, my boy, he did all this for me. But I wasn't playing for the same type of contract that Gronk was playing for, his white friend teammate. He brought that up specifically. He's like, I wasn't given the same treatments as all these other people.
Right.
It's always like, we'll have AB here, but he's on a leash. You know?
Right.
So basically, a report also came out that day, the day of the game that he didn't want to go back into because he was hurt. He had bonuses in his contract. Basically, it would have came up to $1 million. It was like 3 different ones. It would have came up to $1 million if he would have completed it before the season was over. So that was another thing that that's why people are saying he's crazy, because he's losing money. He's losing a lot of money.
He lost a $30 million we talked about earlier. He lost this
That
money,
mill
you know what
that
I'm
just
saying?
passed.
And also, sorry, I want to let you guys in on an NFL secret. Like, I'm not an NFL expert, but all these niggas got CTE one way or another. Like, if I let me get hit in the head for years.
That's a
They're
fact.
professional get hit in the head for
Right.
ass niggas. I don't
That
know what
is
to call it, but
a
all these niggas.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, bad. And
Go
so,
ahead.
Short fuse.
Sure, gotta be.
do you got something you want to say about the whole AB situation? 'Cause
I'll say I feel like damn, I'm blanking on what I was saying earlier. Oh yeah, with the whole leash thing. I feel like there comes a point where, like, if I'm on probation and I have been showing up to my PO and I have been doing what I showed you I'm capable of doing, and I slip up once, my past you should not go revert back to my past and be like, oh, see, I told y'all he's a hot one, he's a loose cannon. And it's like, I showed y'all I could be a team player for a whole year.
Won a
And
Super
now
Bowl.
now that, like, this little thing happened, I'm painted as like a loose cannon again just because I left 2 teams in the past. And it's like, I feel like it's unfair to say like, oh, AB is a problem. He's a problem. Because he hasn't been a problem over the last year and a half. So, like, eventually a broken clock is going to be right twice. So if you're going to keep saying somebody's a problem, and then they mess up, you're like, I got him.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they're doing to him.
Yeah.
I feel like that literally happens to black men in general, though. Honestly, like, in what AB had, granted, it's the NFL, they make a lot of money, but what AB had was a job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Essentially.
What he had was a job. And I can say, like, personally, bro, like, I'm not finna be holding my tongue just because other people got an opinion on what I should do with my job.
Facts.
Like, that's me. That's my life, bro. That's my life.
I'm not getting hit in the head.
And that's and that's the point. Like, I'm telling, like, black men literally get, like, damn near pigeonholed to be like, okay, you gotta be this one way. Because if you're not this way, you crazy as hell. You got CTE.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You obviously don't deserve to be here. You're not grateful. You ungrateful.
Right. That's why we don't give y'all opportunities. Right.
It's like that. It's like that in my eyes. And for me, that's an issue.
Yeah, this is the same NFL that was persecuting Kaepernick from kneeling for. This is the same NFL that's owned by mostly white niggas. This is the same NFL who are some of their best players are black, but look at how many black quarterbacks they have.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Insane.
And they literally still paint that narrative of, black quarterbacks are only athletic. They're not as mentally strong or
Right, they
Which
not
is
smart.
insane.
They
That
can't
is
learn the
crazy.
playbook.
Extremely.
literally.
What?
Because my boy Kyler Murray, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dallas, Texas. My boy Kyler Murray going
Twitter needs to
crazy.
stop worrying about Black Men Podcast and worry about the NFL and what's going on over there. That's where we need. That's where we need that energy at.
Damn. All right, man. We don't got a whole lot of time, and there were two topics that I for real wanted to touch on really quick. Sidney Poitier died.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Condolences to anybody who's ever been in entertainment and dealt with him. I think Morgan Freeman's post was just so heartfelt and beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
I need to go back and look at that for sure. Sidney Poitier died. The Peter Spencer situation. Y'all want to touch on that, or y'all want to do something a little bit more spicy? Because
Let's move to the spice.
Yeah,
something a little bit more spicy.
Yeah.
Okay, so on Twitter, on Twitter, my boy. All right, so on Twitter, I saw a conversation. I just want to get a
This
little
man
bit of
love
opinion on it.
Twitter.
Boy, I be on that thing,
yeah.
don't I?
Twitter hole.
Basically, like, just like really, because you know people get like Twitter fame, and there's just a Q dog on there. Just like, I didn't waste your time, love. I just got to know you, and I didn't like you.
Yeah.
And that is something that is literally the fabric of the argument that women will give you, is the fact that if you spend any amount of time with them and at the end of the day you don't want to do or don't want to be who they want you to be at that point, you wasted their time. And when I tell you that hits, like, when I tell you that hits home, because again, here's the problem. Here's really
They
like
want
the
it
main,
spicy.
the main problem of it, okay? Here's really the main problem of it. People aren't honest with who they are in the beginning, and that's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
That's literally your fault because, okay, you as a woman, you fragile, you this, you that, all these things like that, right? I get that. And so you don't feel comfortable opening up. So me as a man, I got to take all these steps to make you feel comfortable, to make sure that you actually show me who you really are. Or not to make sure of it, but because I want you to be comfortable and I want you to have a grand experience and like feel free to be who you are. You're not gonna show me the real you until it's fucking 3.5 months in. And at that point, I should be able to make a decision and say, oh damn, you showed me who you actually are. I just don't like that. That don't add up with who I am. Like, there were characteristics that you had in month 1 and month 2 that I was really rocking with, but like, if we talking long-term longevity, I didn't waste your time just because we dated for a few months and it did not work out. That is not me wasting your time.
Yeah.
And I 100% stand on that. Like, and for it's again, bro, I feel a ways about it because it's like, what's the point of having a dating period or getting to know somebody period if you are gonna be 100% classified as a time waster for not wanting to marry this person at the end of the day?
Niggas is just living in this era of instant gratification. That's really the problem, especially with social media and how fast things seem in reality.
Right.
Niggas don't want to take their time, let it marinate, simmer, and then cook something that's worth a while. And I, before I got into my most recent relationship, I was on this dating app and I noticed that niggas was like trying to expedite the process. Like, all right, like I just chatted with you for 2 seconds, like let's FaceTime. Like, all right, let's like date. Niggas trying to get into relationships off top. It's like, hold on. Like, and I really blame social media because I'm just like, I don't know, these flashing images, our ADHD get to acting up. I don't know what it is, but
It's TikTok.
it's TikTok. TikTok is the demon. It's the devil. To TikTok, let's blame it for all. Blame TikTok for everything. But yeah, I think that we live in an era of instant gratification. I really think that's the problem. Like, you can't waste somebody's time if you're both having a good time in the meantime and getting to know each other. But I do want to say that niggas do the same thing where they show you their true colors. Not more often than not. Yeah, niggas will do the same thing.
I love to hear that from you. Do you got any like stories about like?
I probably have plenty.
I love hearing this
said
from
neighbor.
you. I love hearing this from you.
Let's see. I mean,
If you want to think, I can give one off. If you want to think for a little bit about one.
Well, I real briefly, I just met a guy on the dating app, like I was saying.
Yeah.
And then, like, I hadn't met him in person ever. We chatted a little bit online, and then out of nowhere, he was just like, "Oh, I'm trying to drop you off some food." I'm like, "Okay," because I think somewhere online he was told that women are always
Like
painting
food,
the picture
right.
like I need a nigga to take me out and give me something to eat. Like women love food.
Yeah.
Key to a woman's heart. And so he came by my house. He dropped all the food, and it was nice. It was fine. It was like, oh, he's a good guy or whatever. And then eventually, this guy just started getting crazy, like more demanding, like trying to being very entitled to my time. Just like, we need to hang out. We need to and being upset that I didn't want to hang out. I'm just like, nigga, I don't even know you. So it was like you just talked yourself out of that one. Like, blocked.
It'd be the entitlement. And my thing is this, bro. Like, if people was really more focused on themselves, like, you would know and be able to be comfortable with showing who you really are.
Yeah.
Earlier on in the beginning.
Yeah.
But that really be the problem, is that people don't really be like comfortable or content inside themselves. And so like, I'm scared to show who I am because I don't really know who the fuck I am, honestly. And I don't really
Victim
Or
blaming.
like who they are.
or like.
Trey, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So if you know a woman wants a relationship, right?
What do you mean by that, bro? What do you mean? You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that.
She wants a
think
relationship.
everyone. She literally just said.
A woman expresses to you like, I think you're cute, I like you, I want to date, and I want to, you know what I mean? See where it goes and be serious with you. She ain't say flat out like, oh, I want a relationship, but she's like, you know what she hinting towards.
Right. That's fair.
Now, if you choose to say, I don't want anything serious.
How recent is this though? I've been told this at what point? I want all context, because if you tell me this 3 months in, you are 100% justified. But you tell me this 2 weeks in, how you know you want a relationship with me? You don't fucking know me, bro. Like,
I see you on the gram. You got a podcast.
Role playing.
Listen.
I love this.
It's like, listen.
I'm like,
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm loving this role play.
I see Trey. I see you on the gram. You got cute filters on your pictures. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I like dark skinned dudes. Go ahead, and like you the guy I envision myself with. So like now that I like have access to you and like we talking and we DMing, and I realize in person you even that much more like funny and cool and shit. I'm like, you know what? What is this?
Why we can't just go where we need to be?
Right.
Why we can't just get to that level right now?
That's the girl. That's the home girl.
That's the feature. Look, she back and the other one up, and they done came together and formulated his opinion. I love this. Go ahead.
So like, and then you tell me like, oh, I don't want a relationship, but we could date. And we date for 3 months. You know it's gonna get to a point where you know I originally wanted a relationship.
Right.
So some of that is on you too. Don't just put it on me.
No, facts. That's fair. But I think the fact that it's like, okay, you can trust this person for certain things, but you also gotta take care of yourself. Like, I can honestly say, like, even if it's a year in, bro.
See,
I can
now
be hurt.
You bullshit, Trey. I'm not gonna let him do that on here.
Let me finish the statement. What I'm saying is, I can be a year into a situation, and if it don't go right, I'll be hurt for maybe a little bit, but I'm not out here like writing no think pieces. I'm not crying to my mama.
Trey.
I'm not. Okay, and that's fair. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, like, where does responsibility lie on the other person to be like, okay,
For the other person to move on?
No.
Like, oh, okay, he doesn't want this, she doesn't want this, let me move on. Is that what you're trying to get at?
how is that not okay if we figure out 6 months in that we just aren't compatible on certain levels and we not going for the same thing? Because sometimes it's like it's not even that we're not compatible.
But now you sold me a dream.
You want one thing out of life, I want another thing out of life.
Now you sold me a dream. Cause I'm thinking like you this podcaster, this big podcaster. Listen, he this big podcaster from Dallas.
I love his role play.
Like, you know what I mean? He be on there talking about he love black woman and black woman this and black woman that. But now I'm dating him,
Feminine energy.
and he don't want to settle down. Like, what's up with that?
Talk about it, Trey.
What do you mean by wait? we're not talking about the same thing then. Like, because the idea of settling down,
You don't want to get in a relationship.
You don't want to be committed. You don't want to be exclusive. You scared. Just say it.
You scared. Say
okay,
it.
for one, y'all niggas talking like this me. Y'all niggas talking like this me, nigga. That ain't me, goddamn. That is not my situation, goddamn. What Jordan Wood say, I don't want your situation? That's not my situation, nigga. I don't want to say that on top. That's not where I'm at. So, but for the hypothetical, for what the tweet said, as far as like getting to know somebody and then realizing that like this just ain't it, I think that that's gonna happen more often than not in these young ass relationships. But you as a man will be demonized for the fact that if you initiate the fact that like, because here's one thing I don't hear a lot of is nobody said that Issa was wrong for not wanting to fuck with Lawrence in season 1. When he was bumming on the couch and he wasn't aligned with what she wanted in her life, nobody said that Issa was wrong for going out and doing what she was doing, like, and going to live her life. But I'm telling you, as a man, if you decide that, hey, a year in, this just ain't what it is, you're this whole fucked up individual, bro. You're this whole fucked up individual. And I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that, bro.
There's double standards, Trey. And like, sometimes double standards...
He's still in.
He in character. I love him in character, boy. I love him in character.
And it's like, we got to take the good and the bad sometimes because like, sometimes it goes the other way for women where they get the bad and the stick.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Do you feel that if it was on the other way, the shoe was on the other foot?
That a woman's like, I don't want to be in a relationship anymore.
Do you think that a man is gonna bash? Do you think a woman would get the same bashing a man would?
Honestly, on average, probably not. But I think that it also depends on how the woman goes about it. Because I think that men will bash a woman that is like, oh, I want to go through my whole phase, you know? And that's kind of what Issa did. She left. And I don't agree with the way that she left. She could have been very upfront with him, but she was scared. Like she was being cowardly, but in the way that she approached it. But she wanted to jump into her whole phase and explore things or whatever. But I think that, like I said, to track it back, that it's about how you go about it. But on average, no, I don't think that women are demonized as much as far as exiting a relationship. Women are encouraged to live their best life for the most part.
Hot girl summer.
But if it has anything to do with promiscuity, definitely women will get the work.
No, facts.
Right.
In regards to that, because we all know.
That's where the double standards come in on our side. Now we benefit from running around and doing Genghis Khan shit.
Because y'all can do that. Y'all can leave and just go fuck a hella bitches and just like, oh, he out here being a man.
Yeah. Being a man. Being a man.
Right.
So,
Oh, damn. All right. I think we short on time, so we gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
you lucky, because I was about to grill your ass.
You can cook me. You can cook me. I do want to, before we sign out, man.
To be continued.
That Peter Spencer situation is really serious, bro. It's very, very serious, bro. And whatever platform I got, I just want to just shed some light to it and just like put it out there so everybody knows and aware that there was a black man that went on a camping trip with some of his old white coworkers, and that man ended up getting shot in the ass twice and in the chest. They turned him over, shot him in the mouth and in the chest. And I want y'all to know, like, that is just such a tragic situation. And I just want to send my condolences out because literally there are so many jokes about like why you can't be the only black person in a circle, and this is literally the shit that's why. It's literally the shit that's why. And so, like, I just want to put it out there, condolences to his family. Black people, I know this is creating a lot of trauma in our community as far as, like, oh, I don't want to go out and do shit with these people.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the answer either. But I just want to put that out there, like, and just send my love to anybody that's processing this because I know it's tough. I know it's tough. And sign us out, Big Shaq. What y'all got, man? We out this thing.
Listen,
you know.
Ladies, y'all know my motto. Pop that pussy for real niggas only.
Only.
Fellas, wait your turn.
Please.
It's 2022.
Please.
Talk about it.
It's coming. We out, man.